Hey everybody, Aaron from the Ballpit here, back with another video. This time, we're continuing on with my little Pokemon tier list series. I've covered all the types alphabetically leading up to this point. And today, we're going to rank the Fairy type. I feel like the Fairy type is going to be a bit interesting because there's not going to be that many old Pokemon. And the total list of Pokemon is going to be a lot shorter because the Fairy type only kind of came around in Gen 6. That's when it started. And they did go back and change some older Pokemon to be Fairy types, but not that many. And I think this is probably, other than maybe like the Ice type, is probably the least common type, if I'm not mistaken. But having said that, let's get right into the ranking. So we're starting with Clefairy and Clefable. I'm gonna go D tier. I don't, for both of them, I don't have a huge, I'm not in the stance. So for me, F tier is Pokemon that shouldn't exist on a genuine level. And I don't really think that's the case. I don't think that Clefairy and Clefable shouldn't exist. I just don't really love their design. And for kind of the base Fairymon, like it is the first two Fairy-type Pokemon in the national dex, and the first Pokemon is named Clefairy, right? These are supposed to be staple Fairy Pokemon. I would have liked it to be something a little more artistically inspired, if you will. Now, next up is Alolan Ninetales, which is an obvious A tier, right? Obvious A tier. I think it is better Pokemon, believe it or not, than actual real Ninetales. And I think it is close enough to the original Pokemon while still straying far enough artistically and just through its design to make it not only a warranted change, like I think Ninetales deserved having something else, but also something that, is cool. It's a cool design, and I like it. Just going forward from there. Next, we have Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. Jigglypuff is gonna be a B tier because I think it's hilarious to use in Smash. It's not personally my main, but I think people who use Jigglypuff are just funny, and I like it. Wigglytuff, though, I'm gonna make it a D tier. It's kind of in the same vein as the Clefairy and the Clefables. I'm not mad that it exists, but I think that there could have been a bigger change from Jigglypuff than Wigglytuff. I don't think that's a very inspired change. So it's not gonna get high reviews from me. And then we have, what is this? Galarian Rapidash, I believe. Galarian Rapidash. I'm going to put it at B tier. I'm going to put it at D tier, a B tier. I like original Rapidash a lot. I think this is a cool way to do a Fairy-type iteration of that. I like that there's a unicorn Pokemon. I think that's cool, and I think this is a well-done unicorn Pokemon. But it's not one of my guys. Like, the A tier of the Pokemon, I'm like, that's my guy, right? And I just don't see that with Galarian Rapidash. Then we have Galarian Weezing. I'm also going to give that a B tier. I genuinely think it's such a massive upgrade from original Weezing. And I like the idea of it still being a poison type because of the smokestacks, but it actually helps the environment with the Fairy type. I think it's a cool way of doing it. I like the top hats. He just seems like a nice geese, a nice old geese, a good bloke, right? Yeah, he's a good bloke, innit? Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is a fucking F tier, man. I think it's such I don't think it should exist. It's weird. It's creepy. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I'm not a big clown guy, and he kind of has some clownisms going on, but he also just looks... Alright, let's be honest. He looks like he's a... What are the British say? Because we're just talking about Galarian Weezing. A nonce. He's a nonce, innit? Looks like he touches kids. And I don't really like that. Speaking of the kids, we have Cleffa and Igglybuff, which are both F tiers. You guys know how I feel about baby Pokemon, going back and making baby Pokemon from Pokemon that didn't originally have a baby form. Don't like it. However, what is this? Which one? We're missing some Mons, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We're missing some Mons. I was just wondering why it was like that. Like, we're missing Snubbull and Granbull. Oh, no, they're right there. So on my left, because I don't remember all the Pokemon's names because I have a concussion, I was, things got out of order, and it's because Togekiss and this, I'm on Cerebi. Togekiss, Togetic aren't on the list. Are they fairy types? Yeah, Togepi, okay. So Cerebi just doesn't have them. It's weird. You'd think Cerebi would be updated. They're usually good about that kind of thing. Whatever. So Togepi is an A tier. Togetic is an A tier. And I'm going to go find Togekiss and make that an A tier too. Great line of Pokemon. Personally think it would have been a good candidate to be a pseudo legendary for I think Sinnoh is when it originated from the Sinnoh region. Well, I guess Togetic and Togepi were earlier than Gen 4, and Togekiss is the Gen 4 equivalent. But I think it could have been a really cool, like, Gen 2 or Gen 3, whenever it came into being. And it just could have been a really cool pseudo-legendary. I think it would have been interesting switch up from the normal dragon types. And I really like the design. Then we have Marill and Azumarill. Marill, I'm giving Marill and Azumarill A tiers. I was thinking about placing Marill a bit lower, but he's just such a little guy. He's so cute. I love little Marill. And I just really like using Azumarill. Like, I've grown to like using it a lot. It's Pokemon I just enjoy. Genuinely, I think the design's good. I like the moveset. I like belly drum sets. And huge power sets. I like Azumarill. I like Azumarill, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And then we have Granbull and Snubbull, which are going to be the first C tiers for me, because I just don't give a shit about them. As mean as that sounds. They don't really do anything for me. Personally, don't really do anything for me. And I don't care about them. Then we have Ralts, which I'm going to do an A tier. Kirlia is going to be a B tier, and then Gardevoir is an A tier. I like the Ralts and Gardevoir a lot more than I do Kirlia. I think Kirlia is suffering from that weird middle stage syndrome that can kind of get some Pokemon. And Ralts just looks so doofy and like just kind of cute, and then Gardevoir is just so majestic and graceful, and Kirlia is just kind of that weird middle ground between two opposite sides of a spectrum, and I don't think it does both well, and I don't think it does its own thing well enough. So, but it's still obviously tied to the line, and I like the line, so it can't get anything lower than a B. However, Mega Gardevoir is going to go to F tier. Remember, F tier is for Pokemon I don't believe should exist. I don't think Gardevoir needed a Mega. I don't think it needed one. It's the design-wise, it doesn't change enough for me. It doesn't do enough for me, and I don't think as a Pokemon it was deserving of a Mega. I think there's other Pokemon that deserved a Mega over it. In my opinion, Megas should be given to Pokemon that just need a little more juice, and Gardevoir doesn't need that. She's perfectly fine without a Mega. Azurill, F tier. I don't like baby Pokemon. Mawile, B tier. And it's an interesting design. Fairy Steel type is a cool typing. It's a very unique design. It's not something I ever would have considered, right? Like, when you look at the rest of these Pokemon, I'm like, this makes sense for a Pokemon, right? When you look at Mawile, you're like, there's something different about it, right? Something that sets it apart. And I like that. And Mega Mawile is an A tier. That's a cool looking Mon. And I think that Mawile is perfectly deserving of a Mega. And the Mega it does get is close enough to Mawile that you obviously know that's Mega Mawile, but also different enough to make it an actual change, an actual difference, which means it's cool. I like it. And then we have Mega Altaria, which I believe is an A tier. I think I explained this possibly in the Dragon type tier list, but I think it's an A tier. I genuinely like Altaria, and I think that adding the Dragon Fairy and make it that extra clouds, make it more majestic and graceful, is a great design choice for the bird dragon thing. Mime Jr., F tier. Mega Audino, F tier. Alright, Mime Jr., baby Pokemon. Don't like baby Pokemon. Mega Audino, not a Pokemon that needs a Mega. Audino is, to me, a complete filler Pokemon. Right? It's a Pokemon that exists to make XP grinding in Gen 5 easier. It doesn't need a Mega. Genuinely doesn't need a Mega. It's a wasted Mega that could have been used in a much better sense on something else. And so that for that, it gets an F tier. Then we have Cottony and Whimsicott. Cottony to me is a C tier. It's literally, to me, it just looks like a little cloud with some leaves on the side. I don't really care about it. I don't dislike it. I don't like it. It's right in that middle ground for me. But however, when it does evolve into Whimsicott, it boosts up to an A tier for me. I don't really have a good explanation design-wise. I think I just like using a Whimsicott. If you guys have been watching any of the other videos in this tier list series, I have a main... hold on, Aaron. Let's learn how to speak again. I have a big affinity towards Gen 5. I have a heavy bias towards Gen 5, and I think that bias is speaking to me right now because I'm just a big fan of Whimsicott. I like it. And then we have Flabebe and Floetta and Florges, and these are going to F tier for me. I don't think they need to exist. I think if they didn't exist, it wouldn't impact me almost at all. Genuinely. Don't really like them. And honestly, the Aromatisse line can fucking go to F tier too. I don't like them. They're weird to me. They look weird. I don't think they need to exist. Whose favorite Pokemon's Aromatisse? Let's be honest here. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Oh, nobody raised their hand? Exactly. Nobody's favorite Pokemon is Aromatisse. Let's not lie to ourselves here. Let's not, let's not kid ourselves here. Bullying aside, what is this? See, man, Cerebee's really failing on this whole fucking including Pokemon shit. Holy, I don't remember these two things' names. Slurpuff, I think, is one of them. They can go to C tier for me. I get what they're doing here. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Don't really care about them. Sylveon, though, A tier. B tier. B tier. Almost put it at A tier because it's like a decent design, but all the evolutions are decent designs, right? I think in reality it's B tier. It doesn't feel like it belongs with those Pokemon in A tier. So if that's the case, it has to go down to B tier. What is this? Dedenne, though? Dedenne is also going to go to B tier. I know it's another Pika clone, and typically we don't really like Pika clones, but I think it's a cool one. I think it's different enough. I think it's cute. I like it. It's just not one of my favorites. Carbink is a C tier. It's a fucking floating rock to me. It's a floating rock. Klefki, A tier. And you're probably like, why the fuck is Klefki in A tier? It's based as fuck to make a Pokemon literally a set of keys. That's so incredibly based, I can't even describe it. Like, the fact that Pokemon's so fucking ballsy, and they know that people were complaining about fucking Vanillix being the ice cream cone, and Cryogonal being literally a snowflake, and they went and made a fucking pair of keys a Pokemon. I love it. I love it. I love it. You can't tell me otherwise. Xerneas? How the fuck is Xerneas not on this list? Whoever runs Cerebee needs to go fucking fix their fairy type Pokemon list, because some shit is fucked up here. The Xerneases are A tiers though. It's Box Legends. It's hard to screw up Box Legends, to be honest, because they're made to sell. They're made to be the faces of the biggest franchises in the world's newest game installment. They obviously almost have to be bangers. Starter Pokemon and Box Legends are pretty much always going to be bangers. And then we have Diancie and Mega Diancie. They'll go B tiers for me. I like them. Think the designs are cool and everything, but they just don't have that A tier sparkle for me. Primarina, D tier. It's a little too furry bait. It's a little too Rule 34 bait for me. It's just... Makes me a bit uncomfortable. Honestly, it makes me a bit uncomfortable. And for that reason, it's going to go D tier. I don't think the Pokemon shouldn't exist. Obviously, I think that the water fairy type starter Pokemon should be, should exist, but not like that. Cutiefly for me is C tier. It's a fly, but whatever the fuck, Rabombi, that's its name. Rabombi, that's an A tier, baby. I love using Rabombi. I love the fact that in Gen 9 it has somehow found its way into actual usage competitively because of its speed and its the lack of hazard control that exists in this gen makes hazards pretty permanent a lot of times, unless you decide to spend a party slot to essentially have a defogger or a spinner or something of that, something like that. So, this Pokemon can paralyze you. It can set up sticky webs. It's a great hazard set. You get a nice lead to lower the speed of the rest of your Pokemon. I like it. I like using it. I like strat. Whatever else. Then from there we go to this weird mushroom thing, which is also not on my list, but it's fucking F tier. It genuinely scares me a lot. Like, you can't tell me this Pokemon's not fucking terrifying, okay? This Pokemon is genuinely, like, nightmare fuel, like, sleep paralysis demon, and I hate it. Then we have Comfey is a C tier. It's a fucking lay. Yeah, I don't really have. Honestly, actually, I'm moving it to F tier. Me just saying it's a fucking lay has totally changed everything. I'm no longer in the camp that Comfey is an okay Pokemon to exist. Mimikyu, though, is a fucking A tier. The fact that, like, it's a fake Pikachu, and its first attack, the neck, like, falls off to show that it's fake, and you break the disguise, I think it's a really cool gimmick. I think it's really cool. I like the design of it. I like using it. Everything else, Ghost Fairy type, cool design, A tier for me. And I've said this before, how I feel about the Island Guardians, the Tapus, and they are all A tier. I don't care. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. Do these look like the eyes of somebody that care? No, they don't, because I don't. They all go A tier. Suck my dick. You know what? McGinners are going with them, actually, because I believe that they go there. Also, you know what? Whatever the Hatterene, it's also going to A tier, along with Gigantamax. Yeah, that's right. I just flooded the A tier market on the fairy types. What? I just did fucking, what is that, 8 in a row? Suck my dick. Don't care. Do something about it. Wait, you can't, because this is my YouTube video. Click off if you don't like it. I run this shit now. Alright. Impidimp. D tier. Along with whatever the fuck that one is. Morgrem. Terrifying. Nightmare Fuel. Grimmsnarl. A tier. Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. A tier. It literally looks so much cooler than Impidimp. Like, Impidimp and Morgrem look like Nightmare Fuel, Sleep Paralysis Demon. Grimmsnarl looks like a guy, man. He looks weird, right? He's a weird guy. But he's like your weird friend that you know is weird. You know is a little strange. But you love him. Can't help but keep him around. And I love the idea of Gigantamax Grimmsnarl being this massive creature, but Grimmsnarl himself is the same size, and the massive creature is all his hair. I think that's hilarious, and I like it. Milcery and All Creamy are F tiers. It's a cake Pokemon. And All Creamy looks, again, too much like Rule 34 bait for me. Not in love with it. Then we have Zacian normal form is a C tier, because Zacian Crowned is an A tier. It's crazy how much having the metal like wing things on the back, the sword, and then like the face mask thing adds to the design of Zacian. Regular Zacian looks like a bad 2-stage Pokemon that you get super late in the game and never end up using because it's not worth catching and training up to get to the level before you go into Victory Road. That's what normal Zacian looks like. Zacian Crowned, that's a game cover. That is a game cover, and it goes there. Enamorous, both Enamorous and Enamorous T, are going to go... Actually, regular Enamorous, because honestly, they're both going F tier. I don't think we need more Genie Legends. The 3 Genies we had were enough. We don't need more Genies at this point. You should have left the Genies alone. And then we have Fido and Dashbun. I'm going to go C tier. And then Dashbun, I'm going to go B tier. I think it's cool. I like the idea. But I'm surprised we didn't... Like, if we're going to have, like, a food-related dog Pokemon, I'm surprised we didn't have, like, a wiener dog. Like, a, you know, because it's like a hot dog. I'm surprised we haven't gotten that. It's creative enough, but it's not super inspired. So I feel like B tier for the final Evo is good enough. And C tier for the pre-Evo because it's just kind of bland and boring. Then we have Tinkatink, Tinkatuff, and Tinkaton are A tier for me, and they should have been the pseudo-legend instead of Baxcalibur, and I stand by that. I think that the stats should have been buffed to make it a pseudo-legend caliber Pokemon, and I think it should have been the pseudo-legend because we deserve to have a Pokemon that's not a fucking dragon type for a pseudo-legend. God damn it, bro. We've had dragon type pseudo-legends since Gen 4. Why? Why can't we have another type? I understand that dragon types are supposed to be these like powerful arcane beasts, but why can't we just do something unique? Gen 2 and Gen 3 did not have dragon type Pokemon and did not have just dragon pseudo legends. Gen 3 obviously had a dragon pseudo legend, at least had Metagross, and Tyranitar looks like a dragon. But why can't we just have something different, make it unique, make it not the same every fucking game, bro? It's like Baxcalibur is so uninspired. Okay. Screamtail, F tier. I don't think it should exist. I don't think that Jigglypuff or whatever needs a fucking Paradox form. Don't love it. Fluttermane, A tier. That Pokemon is sick. It is a Pokemon that I think needed it and deserved getting its buff. And I think it's cool to use and it's powerful. Same with Iron Valiant. Again, I know that Gardevoir and Glade don't need the Paradox in the same way that I think that Mischievous did, but it's a super cool Pokemon. I like what it's going with there. I like using it. I think it's cool. And then Pheasantipity, I'm gonna go C tier. I'm a little mad it's not a fucking flying type because like it's literally a bird. Why is it a fairy type? And it's, yeah, I just don't really love birds, and it doesn't really do that much for me on a genuine level. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm going to run the math on them and get back to you on where the fairy type ranks in my official type ranking tier list. All right. The tallies are in, and the new ranking system is as follows. In 5th place, with a score of 2.8, is the bug type. They try their best, but they keep sinking farther and further every single tier list. In 4th place, with a score of 3.18, is the fairy type. So this type ranking that we've just done is officially ranked as the 4th type. If you go on my other tier list, you'll see the ranking for the other types, so I'm not going to make them all dramatic. But the 3rd place is Dragon, 2nd place is Dark, and 1st place is Electric with 3.57. So it's only about a 0.4 difference between Fairy and Electric, but when we're talking about the realm of averages, that is quite a lot. So this was a bit of a shorter tier list video, just because it's the fairy type tier list. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am, and I'm excited to get to the, would it be the fighting type? Yeah, I think fighting type is next. That should be interesting. And I'll see you guys there or in another Ballpit video before that happens. We had tons of different stuff. Go on and check it out. All right, you have a good day now.